Our course today is going to be iPhone X, Face ID, not available fix. Different from previous series, iPhone X features with Face ID. So how does Face ID works? With the user's face closing to the screen, the proximate sensor starts the recognition process. The flood illuminator helps the two-step camera system determine how much illumination will be needed for face recognition. The dot projects over 30,000 dots in a norm pattern onto the user's face. Those dots are then photographed by infrared camera for analysis. A 3D map of user's face are then completed. The 3D model is then compared against the stored template. The phone authenticates the identity and unlocks or authorizes a payment. Now let's get started with our repair. First, press power button to power on. The iPhone X shows an alert that says it is unable to activate Face ID on this phone. Go to Settings. Face ID and passcode. Reset Face ID. When trying to set up Face ID on the iPhone X, we get a message, Face ID is not available. Try setting up Face ID later. Also, according to the feedback from our client, Face ID on the phone is available after being dropped. However, Face ID is not available after replacing of the display assembly. So our initial judgment is that unavailable Face ID might be caused by improper operation when replacing the display assembly. Next thing we do is to check flag cables related to Face ID. Check the infrared camera and dot projector module under microscope. Nothing goes wrong. First, check flex cable connector and flex cables. Nothing goes wrong. Then move to flood illuminator module on the earpiece speaker and front sensor assembly. Then remove screws. Detach the earpiece speaker and front sensor assembly from the phone. Tips: the flood illuminator module is glued to glass lens with double-sided tape. Be careful not to damage flex cables when operating. We can see clearly that flex cable next to flood illuminator module is damaged. Since the flood illuminator module is an essential part for Face ID circuit, damage of the flex cable can result in not working of it, which can absolutely affecting normal working of Face ID. Also, as flex cable repair is difficult, we can solder the flood illuminator module to a new flex cable. Now we need to separate the earpiece speaker from the assembly. First, let's tear off the insulation tape. Then detach the earpiece speaker from the flex cable with soldering iron at 360 degrees. Once done, secure the flex cable with high temperature protective tape. And apply tins with soldering iron at 360 degrees. Remove the ambient light sensor module flex cable afterwards. Tips: Since the two flex cables are secured with black adhesive tightly, we need to heat the black adhesive with soldering iron and hot air gun. And be careful not to damage flex cables when operating. Then, remove excess tins on the flex cable with soldering iron. Clean with PCB cleaner afterwards. Now let's tear off the high temperature protective tape. Turn the flex cable upside down and secure it again. Remove the flat illuminator module with hot air gun at 240 degrees. Prepare a new flex cable without the flat illuminator module. Apply some paste flux to the bonding pad. Get the detached flat illuminator module in position. Be careful with the direction. Then solder with hot air gun at 240 degrees. Once done, remove residual glue on the module. Secure the flex cable with double-side tape. Apply some paste flux to bonding pad of the ambient light sensor module. Then apply tins to the bonding pad with soldering iron. Clean with PCB cleaner. Apply some paste flux to the bonding pad again. Get the detached ambient light sensor module flex cable in position. Secure the flex cable with one specific position soldered. By soldering iron with curved nodes. Use soldering iron with cutter tip to complete the soldering process. Tips: due to the particularity of soft flex cable soldering, here we adopt soldering iron with cutter tip. Clean with PCB cleaner afterwards. Now we need to solder the earpiece speaker back to flex cable. And get it installed to the display assembly. Secure with screws afterwards. Next, let's assemble the phone and test. Press power button to power on. Go to Settings. Face ID and passcode. Set up Face ID. Face ID can be set up successfully. Press the power button to lock the screen. Press the power button again. The screen can be unlocked automatically. Fault cleared. Warranty tips. Get the phone full assembled after confirmation of fault clearance. iPhone X Face ID not available issue fixed perfectly. And this is our iPhone X Face ID not available repair course today. Feel free to visit our official website www.rivatechnology.com. See you next course.